During his tenure as a U.S. Army general, President Eisenhower developed and utilized a method that revolutionized our approach to tackling procrastination. In a speech delivered in 1954, he referenced a quote by J. Roscoe Miller: "What is important is rarely urgent, and what is urgent is rarely important." By saying this, Eisenhower stressed that effective time management required both efficiency and effectiveness. In other words, we must spend our time on things that are important, and not just on the tasks that are urgent. To do this, and to minimize the stress of having too many tight deadlines, it's crucial to grasp the Eisenhower matrix theory. It works basically by grouping tasks into 4 categories based on their urgency and their importance. Urgent things are ones that are time-sensitive and must be done the soonest. And important things are the ones that have the biggest consequences and the most riding on them. First, we have the urgent and important category. This is for the tasks you must prioritize and complete first. Next is the important but not urgent category, which you put tasks into that you need to schedule for completion at a later date. After this is the urgent but not important category. Tasks in this group should be delegated to someone else to complete. Finally, we have the not important and not urgent category. Any tasks you find yourself shelving under this group simply don't need to be thought about, and you can delete them from your to-do list. It's important to recognize the difference between importance and urgency when planning your schedule. By prioritizing the wrong tasks, you could be setting yourself back unnecessarily. In 2018, psychologists Zhu, Yang, and Xi conducted research to investigate how people prioritize tasks based on urgency versus importance. They found a phenomenon which they coined the mere urgency effect. Basically, when given the choice between tasks that had varying levels of reward, indicating their importance, participants were more likely to complete less important tasks if those tasks came with a shorter time limit. This showed that the perceived urgency of the task, aka how long they had until it had to be completed, was prompting people to prioritize it over a more important one with higher rewards, something that reflects badly on your real-life planning. If faced with this scenario in real life, you could employ the Eisenhower matrix to recognize these low-reward, high-urgency tasks as urgent but not important, and thus make the smart decision to delegate them to someone else and prioritize more important things. To start using the technique right now, make a list of all the tasks you need to complete. When your list is complete, read through it and separate the tasks into 4 categories. You can maybe highlight them in 4 different colors, arrange them in a spreadsheet, or pin them to different columns on a corkboard. Starting with your urgent and important group, begin doing those tasks immediately. Once those are complete, move on to important but not urgent ones. Choose dates or times in your schedule to complete these tasks, ideally in far enough advance of their deadline that they don't become too urgent by the time you get around to them. Next up is the urgent but not important tasks, the ones you should delegate. This works best in a workplace scenario, where you can recognize tasks that could be taken on by team members and colleagues. An example of delegating in your personal life, however, could be that you ask your friend to make a table reservation for your dinner that week, or ask your partner to post that letter for you. The ones that you're left with are not urgent or important, and you can scrap them from your to-do list. Now, being told to just do it when it comes to your most urgent and important tasks can be daunting, especially if they involve large projects. This is where you can use other productivity techniques alongside the Eisenhower matrix to really optimize your time, which we will tell you about after discussing today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is a site and app where you can learn math, computer science, and other interesting subjects in STEM. What's great about them is that they don't teach by merely stating facts or formulas and making you memorize things. Instead, they employ an interactive teaching style that makes learning fun. You're given intriguing questions that test your knowledge and fill in your gaps and misconceptions. When you come across a gap in your knowledge, they provide you with the correct answer as well as an explanation as to why. Our favorite course right now is the How Technology Works course, where you can explore topics like what actually makes a password good, or how recommendation algorithms know what content you'll like. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days and get 20% off an annual plan, visit brilliant.org/improvementpill or click on the link in the description. Now, back to the topic at hand. Our next technique is the Pomodoro Technique, and it's one of the most powerful ones and can really help you get through boring and high-effort jobs. It was developed in the 1980s by university student Francesco Cirillo, who went on to write a 130-page book on the method. You don't need to read all that, though. Essentially, the method involves breaking up your working time into manageable chunks with regular breaks. The method calls for you to cut your work periods into 25-minute sessions, which in this technique are called Pomodoros. After each Pomodoro, each 25-minute chunk, You must take a 5-minute break. Any task you judge that will take more than 5 Pomodoros to complete must be broken down into smaller tasks, making it more manageable to tackle piece by piece. For example, if you have an essay to write, it's likely to take you more than 4 cycles of 25 minutes to complete. Instead, break the task down into more bite-sized pieces. Task 1 is your introduction. Task 2 is your first argument. Task 3 is your counter-argument, and so on. Use the Pomodoro method to keep you focused on each job at hand, and you should feel far less overwhelmed and way more productive. Once you've made your way through all parts of your task this way, you can cross the big one off the list. The advantages of this method have been proven in various ways, such as one study in 2011, which proved that short diversions from your tasks can help greatly increase your focus when you go back to working. Professor Alejandro Aguirre found that participants in his study performed consistently at a higher level with a computer task if they had 2 short breaks from it during completion. He summarized his findings as showing that deactivating and reactivating your goals allows you to stay focused, which is exactly what you want from using the Pomodoro Technique. Next time you feel overwhelmed and unmotivated, try using these techniques. By effectively categorizing and organizing your tasks, you should be able to optimize your time doing things and kick your procrastination habit. And by working on your vital jobs in shorter bursts, you can keep your focus sharp and get things done quicker. Have you ever tried these techniques? How did they work for you? Share down in the comments below and make sure to stay tuned for more self-improvement content.